Yo, what's good, Girl413 here back in the day, and today, guys, I'm going to be talking about all the rewards that are going to be coming to Forza Horizon 5 players at launch. Now, there are many rewards that we are going to be able to get our hands on, and this time around, it is going to depend on essentially what games you have played, and not how much of each game you have played. So, for example, in Forza Horizon 4, the way that the rewards work, the loyalty rewards that is it was tracked in a system called the Forza Hub. Now, Forza Hub essentially tracked your achievements in different in-game events that you have completed and would assign you a tier ranking in every single game. And they would build up over time, so like, let's say you only played Horizon 1, well, you might have got to tier 2. Well, if you played every single game since then, you might even be upwards of tier 7 or tier 8 at this point, which would mean that you would get 7 or 8 cars absolutely free when you started the game. As well, with Forza Hub, there was a reward system where essentially every single Friday you could go in and get a certain amount of money associated with each tier. So for me, at the tier that I'm at, I can collect 375,000 credits every single Friday, which is a good chunk of money, and that's not just in one game, that is in every game. So Horizon 4, Horizon 3, Motorsport 7, Motorsport 6, etc, etc. But this time around, they are going to be scrapping the Forza Hub system entirely. In fact, in mid-2022, the Forza Hub system is going to go completely offline, and no one is going to be able to use it anymore. And instead, the loyalty rewards are going to be, essentially, we're going to be gifted the cars of the games that we have played. And not just any car, but the cover car of the games that we played. And this starts around the launch of Forza Horizon 1. So what you're going to end up getting is you'll get the Viper SRT from Forza Horizon 1 as, one of your loyalty rewards if you have played this game. And so on and so forth. You'll get the Huracan for Horizon 2, the Lamborghini Centenario for Horizon 3, and the McLaren Senna for Horizon 4. But there's also a couple motorsport games that were launched since the release of Horizon 1, which is 4, 5, and 6. No, not 4, 5, and 6. 5, 6, and 7, which is going to be the McLaren P1 for Forza Motorsport 5, the Ford GT for Forza Motorsport 6, and the Porsche 911 GT2 RS for Forza Motorsport 7. This, of course, leaves out a lot of the Xbox and Xbox 360 games, which I guess at this time, Forza has decided that not many people have actually played those games, so they decided not to reward any loyalty sent to those games, which is a little bit disappointing. So, for example, you had the Ferrari 458 from Forza Motorsport 4, the Audi R8 from Forza Motorsport 3, the Nissan 370Z, or was it a 350Z? I think it was actually a 350Z. I've got the game right here. So yeah, Nissan 350Z from Forza Motorsport 2, and then on Forza Motorsport 1, you had an Acura NSX. So there's a couple of cars that are going to be missing, which is a little bit unfortunate, but at the same time, I'm still a little disappointed. I would have rather seen the 350Z and the Acura NSX be cars that we could get our hands on, instead of things like the McLaren Senna or the Lamborghini Centenario, because that's going to be really fast cars right off the bat. I really want to see a Forza game that has progression again. Horizon 1 is one of my favorite games, and the main reason it is you actually have to work hard in order to get some of the fastest cars in the game. Essentially, the game does give you a lot of free cars, but you have to work through the championships in order to get your hands on them. For example, I believe it took me 6 or 7 hours just before I was able to get my hands on an S-Class car. Because there was a lot of work that went into trying to get enough money to get one of those cars, but also at the same time, you didn't really need one with the story until you got to that point. So in this game, you're essentially just going to be given super fast cars right off the bat, and if you really want to, you can just progress as fast as you possibly want. There's going to be races that you can't necessarily do. I mean, that is true. And I will say some of these cars will definitely be beneficial in the festival playlist, as you'll be able to do some of the challenges a little bit earlier. You may not have enough money, though, to actually upgrade these cars, as the faster the car, the more money it's going to cost to upgrade them, because you're throwing a lot more parts into them. And yes, in Horizon 1, technically, you could have went and done a bunch of challenges, got enough money, and bought yourself an R1 car, the cheapest one being 320,000 credits in the form of the Radical SRT 8. However, though, that car really only had a top speed of about 140 miles an hour. So it really didn't make too much of a difference because a lot of other cars could go much, much faster, but that car was really, really good at handling. And that's kind of where the R1 cars really started to get really, really good, was in the handling perspective, or they got really, really fast, as in over 215 miles an hour fast. But I really wish Horizon 5 would have added a little bit of progression, but from the announcement of the trailer and the demo that we never got, we had the starter cars are a CA Corvette, a Supra, or a Bronco. And really the only real starter car that I could really see there is actually the Bronco. Because with the Supra is a damn good car. I mean, it's got over 300 horsepower and it's a modern car, but it's really, really good. So is the CA Corvette, and you're not just getting any CA Corvette, you're getting one that's been wide-bodied and heavily modified. So right off the bat, you're starting the game with at least, I'm going to assume, a A-class car, an S-class car, and a B-class car in the form of the Bronco. Like, there's going to be some really damn good cars that are going to be in every single player's garage, and I just don't know how I feel about that. I really wish that there was a little bit more progression, that, players might have to actually work at least, I don't know, 2 hours to have a R1, or in this case an S2 class car. But really in Horizon 5, everyone's going to have those cars right off the bat. And that sucks. So anyway, though, that's going to wrap things up for today. Leave a comment down below and let me know what car you are most excited about from the loyalty rewards. I would say it's the Centenario, in my opinion, from the Horizon 3, because that is a really damn good car. But I'm going to say, since that is going to be an S2 class car right off the bat, or at least an S class car, I want to drop it down to the Huracan. I could understand the Huracan. I mean, that's a general supercar. It's a little bit fast, but it's not game-breaking fast. It's not a Centenario. It's not a P1. It's not a Senna. It's still a little bit quick, and it does give a little bit of loyalty rewards to some players. I really wish they wouldn't do, hypercars, but like tone it down a little bit to like supercars, or maybe, some nice sports cars, things that are relatively expensive but aren't necessarily going to break your game a little bit and ruin your experience of Forza Horizon 5. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. As well, if you want to, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at twitter.com/Greg413 and Instagram.com/Greg413. And if you guys like this video, go and make sure to hit that like button down below for us, because you already know your support is so greatly appreciated. And make sure to subscribe for more videos coming out all the time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out. Bye!